Hey everyone, and welcome to this deep dive. Today we're going to be focusing on Holly Newton,
Oh, yeah.
a 15-year-old from Hexham, England, and just a truly awful, awful case.
Yeah.
We've got a ton of material to go through here, court reports,
Right.
news articles, and we even have some statements from Holly's family.
Yeah.
And we're really going to try to go beyond the headlines, you know?
Yeah.
We want to understand not just what happened, but why it happened.
Right.
And then think about what this means for teen relationships,
For sure.
the dangers of abuse, and how justice works when young people are involved.
Absolutely. A case that really gets under your skin.
Yeah.
I mean, you hear about these tragedies, but when you really get into the details,
It's hard.
it's tough. Yeah.
So why don't we start by getting a sense of who Holly was?
Okay.
Her mom describes her as the sweet girl.
Great.
She loved to dance. She
Yeah.
was a little bit shy, close to her family, and, thinking about normal teenage things.
Yeah. GCSEs.
Yeah.
Prom. It's those little details that just, really get to you.
Yeah.
You've got this young girl whole life ahead of her, thinking about exams and prom. And
Yeah. And then it's just gone.
it's over just like that.
It's just devastating. And speaking of things that are just shattered,
Okay.
Holly's relationship with Logan McPhail, her ex-boyfriend, he was 16 at the time.
Okay.
This is where things get really complicated.
Okay.
They had this on-again, off-again thing for about 18 months.
Yeah.
And you get the sense from the articles that he really did not want her to move on.
Really?
Yeah, and it's interesting because a lot of those details about their relationship,
Okay.
about how possessive and jealous he was,
Uh-huh.
all that came out after the trial.
I see.
Initially, McPhail was given anonymity by the court because of his age,
Oh, wow.
but the judge decided to lift that order in the end.
Oh, interesting.
They cited the serious nature of the crime
Right.
and the fact that the public had a right to know the whole story.
the whole story. Yeah. So you've got this tension then between trying to protect a young offender,
Right.
but also, transparency and accountability.
It's a tough one.
It's a tough call. Yeah.
Huh.
I'm glad I don't have to make that decision.
Me neither. Okay, so let's talk about the day of the murder.
Oh.
January 27th, 2023.
Mm-hmm.
McPhail skipped school that day
Right.
and actually traveled to Hexham. This is where Holly was.
And that's where things take a really scary turn.
Yeah.
We actually have the CCTV footage
Oh, wow.
that the police released, and it shows McPhail following Holly for almost an hour.
No way.
Yeah. Before he even confronts her, he's hiding in doorways. It's like something out of a horror movie.
Oh, gosh.
It's creepy.
So creepy. And according to the court reports,
Yeah.
he cornered her outside this pizza place,
Oh, wow.
pretty much forced her into this alleyway,
Yeah.
and then attacked her with a kitchen knife.
Kitchen knife.
He brought it from home.
Oh, my gosh.
The brutality is just unimaginable.
It's awful.
36 stab wounds. The blade actually broke off during the attack.
Oh, my God. That's just insane, the force.
And, reading Holly's mother's statement, it just adds another layer to the heartbreak.
Yeah.
She describes how controlling McPhail was in the relationship,
Right.
always had to know where she was, not letting her hang out with her friends.
The classic signs.
It's abusive behavior.
Yeah. And this is where we start to see the bigger picture.
Right.
This case really shows us how real this problem of domestic abuse in teen relationships is.
Yeah.
Holly's family, they really believe she was a victim of this kind of abuse.
Mm-hmm.
But in the UK right now, you can't legally be considered a victim of domestic abuse if you're under 16.
What?
Yeah, it's a huge gap.
That's unbelievable.
It's crazy, right?
Wow.
I mean, you can be going through the same things,
Sure.
the same fear, the same control,
Yeah.
but just because of your age, it's not really seen as abuse.
Right.
It's awful. It's got to change.
Yeah. It makes you wonder how many other kids are out there suffering in silence, thinking that they have nowhere to turn.
And that's what makes her mom's statement so important.
Yeah.
She's not just grieving.
Yeah.
She's trying to make a difference.
Right.
She wants better education about relationships for young people.
Yeah. I mean, it seems so basic,
Yeah.
but
It is.
we teach kids about stranger danger.
Right. Internet safety, all that.
But when it comes to an abusive relationship, especially one that might seem normal to a teenager,
It's just not talked about.
no, it's not. So,
And it's not even just about recognizing the signs.
right.
It's also about knowing where to go for help,
Exactly.
who to talk to,
Yeah,
and believing that you deserve to be in a healthy relationship.
absolutely. Okay, so let's move on to the trial.
Okay.
McPhail initially denied murdering Holly.
Right.
Then he admitted he meant to hurt her.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, the jury found him guilty of both murder and wounding.
That wounding charge was actually for stabbing another boy.
Really?
Yeah. He tried to intervene and stop the attack.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was stabbed 4 times trying to help her.
What a brave young man.
It really shows you how chaotic it all was.
Yeah.
It wasn't just Holly in danger.
Right.
Anyone who tried to help was at risk, too.
So in the end, McPhail was sentenced to life detention.
Okay.
Minimum of 17 years.
That's a long time, especially for someone so young.
It is.
But you know the severity of what he did.
Right, the premeditation.
All of it. Yeah, it does make you wonder if justice was really served.
Yeah.
It's a tough question.
It is.
So much to consider his age.
Yeah.
The fact that he had some learning difficulties is just not a simple situation.
And of course, we have to think about Holly's family.
Of course.
It's just unimaginable.
It is. When you read her mom's statement,
Yeah.
you really feel the grief.
Oh, yeah.
But also her determination. You know, she wants to make sure Holly's death wasn't for nothing.
She talks about how Holly's future was stolen.
Exactly. She never got to experience all the things most of us take for granted.
Yeah, like getting married, having kids.
Building a career, it's all gone.
It's just heartbreaking. It makes you think about prevention.
Absolutely.
What if we could teach young people about healthy relationships?
Yeah.
Empower them to see those warning signs.
Maybe we could stop another family from going through this.
Yeah. So where do we go from here?
Right, we've talked about the problems with the law,
Uh-huh.
the need for better education.
What can we do as individuals, as a society?
I think awareness is key.
Okay.
We have to talk about this stuff more openly,
Right.
more honestly. We need to educate ourselves about the red flags.
Yeah.
And we need to make sure victims feel safe coming forward.
And it's not just about talking to young people.
Right.
It's about listening to them, believing them, supporting them.
Exactly. And that's where Holly's mom's message is so powerful.
Yeah.
She's using her platform to advocate for change.
Better policies, better education.
Yeah, better support for victims. There was one thing her mom said that really stuck with me.
Okay.
She said Holly actually tried to help McPhail with his reading. She'd even go to the library and get books for him.
Wow.
It just says so much about her character,
Yeah.
her kindness. It makes her loss even harder to understand.
It really does. It's just awful.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, you know what, if we all took a little piece of that,
Yeah.
that compassion, that willingness to help,
Mhm.
maybe we could actually change things.
Yeah.
Create a world where kids feel like they can speak up,
Right.
ask for help, and build healthy relationships.
It's a good thought. And it reminds us that even with all this darkness,
Yeah.
there's still hope out there.
Right.
Holly's story is a tragedy,
Definitely.
but it's also a call to action. It reminds us that we can all do something to stop these tragedies from happening. We can educate ourselves. We can speak up,
Right.
support victims, and create a culture of respect.
Yeah.
We can honor Holly's memory that way and make sure that young love is something to celebrate, not something to be afraid of.